welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over our latest update on the severe weather forecast through April 9th. There may be a severe weather outbreak on the 8th, and all modes of severe weather are possible. This is specifically expected to happen in the parts of the south, especially in the light purple zone, including parts of the lower Mississippi Valley, including the states of Arkansas, Mississippi, and Tennessee, and also the Missouri Boot Heel. And that will also be possible that day in the dark red area, including basically these areas: Southern Illinois, Western Kentucky, Western Tennessee, Northwest Alabama, Northern Mississippi, far northern Louisiana, and far northeast Texas, the rest of the Arkansas state, eastern Oklahoma, southeast Kansas, and also southern Missouri. While severe weather is possible in a lighter red area, red area in general, there is a lower threat for that. Especially to the north, there won't be a general tornado threat. But in lighter red areas, severe weather is kind of just unlikely, except maybe the Gulf Coast, where we'll probably just see general thunderstorms, if anything. And here is today's storm predictions and outlook, the latest one. You can see there's a marginal risk from Nebraska into the upper Midwest, including northwest Iowa and southeast South Dakota, Minnesota, northwestern Wisconsin, and the western UP of Michigan. And then the SPCS Storm Prediction Center has highlighted a slight risk for parts of southern and central Minnesota. And now tomorrow's SPC convective forecast includes a marginal risk for the states of western Iowa, western Missouri, northwest Arkansas, northern and eastern Oklahoma, much of the Kansas, the southeast corner of South Dakota, and also eastern and southern Nebraska. This storm prediction also highlighted a slight risk for parts of Kansas. Now we move to our Wednesday's forecast from the Storm Prediction Center, which indicates a marginal risk for parts of southern Iowa, all of Missouri, western Kentucky, and western Tennessee, western portions of Alabama, most of Mississippi, and most of Louisiana, northeastern Texas, far eastern Oklahoma, extreme eastern parts of Kansas, and also parts of Arkansas, and yeah. Then we have a slight risk across parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, and also Mississippi, and the southeast corner of Oklahoma. Now we're going to move to our Cape instability forecast. This is today. You can see the main area of instability is in central Wisconsin, also the eastern and Minnesota, South Dakota, Iowa area. And now this expands into areas with 2,000 joules per kilogram seen across an area of northwestern Wisconsin, with also some moderate instability across parts of Minnesota, eastern South Dakota, eastern Nebraska, Kansas, parts of northwestern Missouri, Iowa, northwest Illinois, and possibly northern Indiana. And now as we're heading into sunset, the main area of instability becomes parts of eastern Nebraska, with lower instability here across northern western Wisconsin, and also parts of southern and central Minnesota. And this kind of just becomes instability primarily focused across southwest Minnesota and northwestern Iowa, also north and eastern Nebraska, and also southeastern South Dakota in the Sioux Falls area. Now for Tuesday's instability forecast, you can see there's a plume of instability from all the way across western Gulf of Mexico and also eastern Mexico near the Gulf Shore, and rising all the way to central and northern Nebraska, with some additional instability possible, shifting further to the east across Iowa and Missouri, and also into southwestern Wisconsin, and possibly into parts of Illinois also. And as you can see, the main area of instability here across this plume is into parts of Kansas and also parts of Oklahoma. Now as we head into Wednesday, however, the instability is shifting eastward, with with moderate instability seen across parts of southeastern Texas and also Louisiana, western Mississippi, and also possibly parts of northeast Missouri and southern Iowa, with some additional instability in between those regions and also further north into northern Iowa, southern Wisconsin, Illinois, western Indiana, also into parts of Kentucky. And now we have our instability. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Expanding into moderate instability across parts of northern and central Illinois, eastern Iowa, southern central Wisconsin, also into central Kentucky and southern Indiana, with some locally higher instability of 2,000 joules per kilogram seen across parts of southeast Texas and northern Louisiana. Now we have this as nightfall begins across parts of southeastern Texas being the main area of instability here. On Thursday, we begin to see a severe threat just focused kind of on the Gulf Coast, with moderate instability along the Gulf Coast of southeast Texas, also Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida Panhandle, with higher instability seen across the Gulf Coast, starting to enter mainly southeast Texas with more elevated and higher instability there, but also still quite some instability here across Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida Panhandle, also into Georgia for the Gulf Coast. And now as we're seeing this shift kind of eastward, you can see the instability is sneaking inland across even parts of Tennessee and Kentucky, possibly some very weak instability across parts of Ohio, West Virginia, and also possibly as far inland as Michigan. Now you can see the intense instability across southeast Texas, which is very favorable if you're about to see the supercell composites map, which will be a next sets of maps. This is upwards of 3,000 joules per gram in the red area in eastern Texas. It's really favorable. Now we're seeing the nightfall, which obviously indicates that instability would diminish. And as you can see, there's still some instability as far east as Georgia, with very weak instability seen across parts of the Carolinas. Now here is the supercell composites for our overall severe weather forecast. We have some supercell composites of 5 in some areas of the upper Midwest, and also overall into the Central Plains. Now we have this across the plains, where we're seeing the main area of favorable development for supercells in the plains. And as you can see, the supercell composites are reaching levels of 10, possibly upwards of 15. And then it becomes central and southern plains. Supercell composites overall aren't too favorable for supercell development, especially given that maximum supercells only go to like 6, 7, or 8 across northern Louisiana, with weaker levels across. If you go up the Mississippi Valley all the way into northern Iowa, where supercell development may or not happen. This shifts eastward with not much difference here. Now we have Thursday, which will be our final day. Before I give over a summary, which sadly I don't have a slide for that, I'm just gonna go on with what we have here. This is the main area of supercell composites where I mentioned that there will be heightened instability, eastern Texas, and also into west parts of Georgia. And then we got more supercell development possible across eastern and central Georgia, also west and South Carolina, and also southern Appalachians into eastern and central Tennessee. And as you can see, supercell composites are really going to go up. And look here, this is really favorable for supercells and likely for the development of possibly significant tornadoes. But look here, this is 25, possibly upwards of 30 supercell composites across eastern Texas, with some Also favorable supercell composites for parts of Georgia and South Carolina right here. And now for our overall summary, which I'm just going to use this slide for, is that what's really making all this severe weather happen? It's the warmer weather, the jet stream pattern, and also what's resulting in instability with the sunny days that we're having here across much of this region before we start to see severe weather, especially in the morning hours where there is plenty of diurnal heating. What may be limiting this on some days is capping. That is being seen right now across over a place like Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, also Minnesota, Wisconsin, back into Nebraska. And also there might be low amounts of shear, especially in the northern areas of the light pink area or light red. Specifically in the Midwest where we're seeing just a general threat of thunderstorms, which may limit and suppress the development of thunderstorms and possible supercells, if anything. And then there is also a questionable degree of which might be limited moisture supply across these areas too. Alright guys, that is it for today guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and be safe.